Hello, Christian here from the Disruptive Chef Entrepreneur Show. I'm your host, Christian. Have you ever wondered what it truly means to be disruptive in the culinary industry? If you do, it's not just about breaking the rules, it's about rewriting them. So stick around and discover how you can revolutionize your kitchen and make a lasting impression in the industry. Hello again. My name is Christian. I'm the host of the Disruptive Chef Entrepreneur Show, and I appreciate you joining us today. Today, we want to talk about what it really means to be disruptive in the culinary world. And as we spoke earlier, it's not just about breaking the rules, it's about rewriting them. So, how do you do this? And I broke it down in a few different buckets. And for me, bucket number one is radical innovation. And there's some amazing things out there today, how you can revolutionize not just your cuisine, but how you actually bring your product to the consumer. Number one for me is absolutely look what's happening to tech driven in the industry. There's a restaurant out in California which makes a burger, and it's 100% done by the machine. No human interaction makes a burger. Also, have you heard about the cutting edge technology like 3D printing steaks? There's a company out of Israel called LA Farms, which has an amazing way of 3D printing steaks. And combining those with some really amazing dishes. Also, if you look at AI powered kitchen, and I think this is just going to take off over the next few years, look what people can do around that. How great would it be if you could accurately forecast, even more so than you can do with any program today? What is the consumer preference coming in from the history of the people that they come in? How can you find and possibly even predict shortcomings of ingredients? And so you can make menu changes because you will know your distributor will shorten you on certain deliveries coming into your facility. So for me, number one is definitely we need to embrace radical innovation. This is coming. This is coming faster than ever. And look what AI has done in the medical industry. Now you could take a picture, have AI evaluate the retina of your eye, and with a 99% accuracy, they can tell you if there's any genetic mutation within your family cycle. So it's just absolutely amazing. And all of this is coming to cuisine. There's an amazing company out of Italy. They have this device you can put on your head. And if you do a tasting, it tells you exactly what you like, what you dislike without saying ever a word. Some amazing, cool stuff coming from an AI side. For me, the second bucket is how can we shatter the traditional models? Look at what Ghost Kitchens did, having 5, 6, 8 brands coming out of one single space and have this done efficiently and provide just a really great format to a consumer. If you haven't been to a Ghost Kitchen, you got to check it out because you can reduce overhead and reach a much broader audience doing something like that. And for me, I know Ghost Kitchen went away a little bit, but I honestly believe it's coming back because in certain areas, having one restaurant which can serve you 10 brands is absolutely a winner. And then also look what's happening with the direct to consumer models. I'm a customer of that. We using pre-made meals, which we get here, we using Factor. They're not a sponsor of the show or anything, but that's what we use. We like that it's freshly made. It was never frozen. They use some great ingredients, and we as an office here choose to eat keto. So for us, that works really, really well. And you will see more of that coming over the next few years. It's not just that there's more coming, it's going to be even more consumer driven and really niche driven. And there's some really, really cool stuff coming out of that. For me, bucket number three is how can we pioneer new concepts, not just new concept, whole new culinary concepts. Look, the whole idea of fusion cuisine, where you blend unexpected ingredients and cooking methods together to have a new style for you. I think that's becoming a lot more not just driven, but I think AI, some of the equipment we spoke about in bucket one or two, which going to assist you in pioneering some of those new trends. I just had a company presented to us a ramen robot, which makes ramen 100% by itself. They had some cooking techniques and some tools where you get rid of a stir fry station or an Asian wok because it does it all automatically. So now, if you take all of this and integrate it or blend it with some other really cool fusion cuisines, there's some amazing stuff coming out. And then if you overlay sustainability in ethical sourcing, which I also feel will see a boom, and AI will have a lot to do with that. If you haven't seen a vertical garden in some of the restaurants, I think this is going to be hyperactive over the next few months and next few years, because AI will exactly tell you by weather on what to do with your plans. The AI model, if you follow AI a little bit, they just overlaid it on the accuracy on weather forecasting. It is even 60% more accurate than current systems we have. So all of this is going to help you have less waste or zero waste within your facility. Also, it will allow you to participate in ethical sourcing, and especially if you do something cool like plant-based cuisine. So this was bucket number 3. So bucket number 4 is, and I like to build. So if we start out with AI, overlay some really innovative cuisine, overlay technology. The next thing is, how can we revolutionize customer experiences? And there's a few different items out there. One of them is you can turn meals into a multi-sensory experience with VR, which there's a restaurant out there which has a VR dining experience with interactive menu. And then you probably seen it, that whole theatrical presentation of food items is amazing. I went to a restaurant which is a farm-to-table restaurant, and we actually ate in the barn. And I had a lamb stew. And as the waiter came and they brought my lamb stew, I had this big plate which had hay on the bottom. And then in the middle, they came and they put the bowl of my stew in it. And then they came afterwards and put hot water on the hay. Now, that experience made a multi-sensory, because having the aromas of the stew itself, and then you have the smells of the hay with the hot water, it was unbelievable how great that worked together. And I believe there's more of that coming to the industry. So if you want to do that, it's certainly a way to revolutionize your customer experience. Certainly wowed me. And then if you overlay hyper personalization, using data, AI, from again, AI, from every aspect of the dining industry, and really customize it to a consumer preference. And you see this already done with cocktails and some of the tasting menus. There's certainly a lot more you can do with that around disrupting your location. And then finally is leveraging the digital platform. And for me, where I see this going is building personal brands through engaging content. It's really good. You have live cooking shows, and there's a few different models out there already where you have consumer can ask you questions via a virtual platform where you can make instant changes while you teach that cooking class. It's like being in a room. There's a few different platforms out there. One of them is Obio, and we use that, which is absolutely amazing, which takes away the whole Zoom experience and overlays a whole new level of consumer experience. It always makes you feel like you're part of a live TV show or a show itself. And I feel Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube is certainly got to be the places where you're going to see a lot more of that. And if you can hyper focus it on a consumer experience or an ethical dish, I honestly believe that's coming. If you haven't watched, there was a really good interview on Monday with Gary Vee, and where Gary Vee said, hey, he has been commoditized because he feels that somebody with a super specific niche can reach as many people as he has and has the same impact, not just from a reach, from an outcome. So I think more of that is coming, and especially around virtual cooking classes. For me, I'm still on the fence if you should do cooking classes, because there's so many great people out there doing this. But having online cooking classes, online tutorials, reaching now a global audience, not just creating um, a small show or a local TV network, because that global reach is a whole new way of reaching a new revenue stream. And my experience with that is, a few years ago, my kids took an online cooking class with this young lady, which gave simple vegan cooking classes. And it was $2 a person. And it was, you had to sign up for a full week. So it was $10. And the great thing was my kids cooked with her. So the day before, she gave you a list of the ingredients you need to get. And then from there, when she started the cooking class, you could see the cat walking across the day, but not a very professional format, but it totally connected with my children. And as she did it, she said, "Oh, I know I had this on the menu, but I couldn't find it, so we substituted with this." And they absolutely loved it. And then in the end of the day, they got to make quesadilla, got to make ice cream and all those cool things. But what was really fascinating with me, she charged $2. And as I started looking at this, she had 5,500 people on that one particular day. My kids, I think they made the quesadillas, or was the guacamole one of them too, where they did it. So it was for me just amazing to watch. So having 5,000 people making paying $2 a day. Can you imagine you do a cooking show for 2 hours and you make 10,000 a day? Isn't that unbelievable? And you can do this with a virtual cooking platform. And I think you will see a lot more of that. So now the question is, how do we adapt all of this and how do we bring it in? And adapting those innovative technology, start by bringing in small innovative kitchen gadgets into your kitchen. Look at workflows and see what the final experience is. And then I encourage you to experiment boldly. Don't be afraid of pushing boundaries. Don't be afraid to look at new ingredients and new cooking style and cooking techniques. You could even host a pop-up events for your friends and give it some honest feedback around it. The digital engagement, you will need to have a strong digital presence, and we working on this as an organization. You need to share your journey. And for me, coming from here, what we do today is totally different, and it makes us unique because there's a lot of people in the same situation as I was. They wanted to let go of a corporate position or wanted to do something else. We provide the platform and we give them education around that. And then finally, for me, is focus on sustainability. That's for me not just a personal thing. I think as an organization or as an industry, we need to do a lot more of that. We need to become better in cooking eco-friendly. We need to become better in incorporating sustainability in what we do. And I believe AI will do that for us. So hopefully they gave you a good idea on how you can disrupt your kitchen and make a lasting impression on the industry. If you have any comments below, please do so. Also, if you haven't done so, we encourage you to join the disruptivechef.club, which is our private community where you get content like this all the time. We do short videos, we send out, we do phone calls, we do Zoom meetings to get the most to them. So if you haven't done so, please do that. If you haven't, please mark this episode, like it, let us know how we can do better. Leave us some comments. We read every single one of them. So with that, I want to say thank you for listening in today. My name is Christian. I'm the host of the Disruptive Chef Entrepreneur Show. I'm signing off for today. So be the entrepreneur, be the chef who sets the world on fire. And remember, stay disruptive. Thanks, everybody.